The story of Jamie. Part 1. The first 5 years. This is Jamie. In 6 months, she'll be graduating from Ivy. Before she graduates, she'll be going on exchange to Europe. She plans to empty out her savings account and head over for a glorious 3 months of traveling before starting work in September. Luckily, Jamie has no debt and has already secured a job with a starting salary of $64,000 and a 6% bonus, less taxes. She plans to put her starting bonus toward her emergency fund, enough to cover 3 months of expenses if she loses her job or switches careers, a real possibility with the new normal. Jamie realizes that she'll have to plan her financial future differently than her parents did. The expectation of lower returns means that Jamie will have to start saving for lots of things right away and will have to have multiple portfolios to attain her different goals. She'll also have to take into account the different time horizons for each goal, her risk tolerance including a stop-loss point, liquidity requirements, and her target goals and objectives. All of these things form Jamie's IPS. Using her IPS, Jamie is going to be looking for a financial advisor who understands that the plan needs to be formulated with her goals in mind. Jamie will be sure to ask each advisor how they are being compensated. She'll also look to friends in the industry to gain a balanced opinion and to reduce any bias she or her advisor may have. Working with her advisor, Jamie will have to plan for what's important to her and avoid some of the things that can kill her financial future, such as taking on debt, buying a new car, taking vacations, and buying toys like helicopters. She also realizes that to get everything she wants in the future, she'll have to take some risks today and be aware of loss aversion. Jamie will reevaluate her financial plan annually or if there are any major life changes that she faces. 5 years down the road, Jamie plans to get her MBA from a Canadian university, which will cost approximately $90,000 plus living expenses of about $51,000 over 2 years. She expects to receive a $7,000 to $8,000 tax break from the Canadian government. Despite 50% of her MBA tuition being paid for by her company, Jamie will have to incur some form of debt to get through her MBA. This is why she will work with her advisor before incurring that debt to develop a plan to pay down the debt systematically once she starts working. Part 2. Marriage and Kids. Jamie hopes to get married at 30, at which point she will have to start thinking about a prenuptial agreement with her husband-to-be. Let's call him Ken. Something that is important to her is that she raise her children in Vancouver. As such, her and Ken will move to Vancouver prior to tying the knot. With 8 years of CPG experience and an MBA under her belt, Jamie will secure a job prior to making this cross-country move. Assuming that her new job pays CPG rates, she will be earning at least $120,000 plus a 25% yearly bonus. A career change is yet another new normal that Jamie will experience as a Gen Y adult. Jamie and Ken will find a new financial advisor together in Vancouver. They will have separate accounts as well as a joint account for shared expenses. At this point, Jamie will have readjusted her IPS as a married woman with family. Her risk tolerance, time horizons, and budget will be the major changes she must account for and carried forward into her relationship with a new financial advisor. Before having children, Jamie and Ken want to buy a house for approximately $1.5 million, which will require a $300,000 down payment. Jamie has to account for this once she starts her first job and can use a tax shelter, such as an RSP, to save for a down payment on her home. Between ages 30 and 40, Jamie and her husband plan to have 4 children. Jamie knows that if she wants to send all 4 children to private school, her and Ken must max out each child's RESP every year after their births. Part 3. Getting Old. Jamie plans to have a phase-out retirement starting at the age of 60, with the goal of being fully retired at the age of 70. It is assumed that all 4 of Jamie and Ken's children will attend post-secondary education. What Jamie can't anticipate is change. Her plan is already outdated, and she must be prepared for anything that comes her way, and she must remain flexible.